record. Are we still recording? I don't know why this is reversed. It's showing me it backwards, which is really difficult to understand. I'm just having a... Oh, that's reversed. Hello, and welcome to Redacted Nuisance, that 10 to 15 minute monologue, the least produced podcast in the history of podcasts. It's recorded in one take, uploaded without me listening to it, so I don't know what I've said until you hear it as well. Which I forgot to say in the last one. What else do I need to say? I'm Dr. J, use they as a pronoun, which was pertinent to the last story. I describe myself as a queer nuisance, which is why this is called Redacted Nuisance, because one of the things of being queer is that and this comes from Sarah Ahmed, by being queer within a space, you queer up the space. So, and you create a nuisance, you create something that the system needs to work around with, include. So I usually call myself a queer nuisance. I'm calling myself in this redacted nuisance so that it is findable on systems, and that because queer, if I call it queer and label it explicitly LGBTQ, the LGBTQ often means that people who are in places where listening to LGBTQ plus stuff is not permitted or is not acceptable, or people just don't feel comfortable having a podcast that says I'm queer on their systems. They can still access this. One of the reasons that I did this. Now, I was originally going to continue the story from last time, but I can't. And part of the reason I can't is what I want to talk about, which is that I'm in a very... I'm speed running life. I literally am. There is so much stuff going on. And I've dealt with so much in the last 2 months that my brain has ended up in a very, very particular CPTSD space. And it's got a lot to do with the notion of time. Now, to me, time happens to other people. Time is something that happens, but it doesn't happen. I have no sense of time. And people are like, oh yeah, no, when you're traumatized, people often lose sense of time. What I have is quite particular at the moment, is that I only have now. There is no not now. I can't think of what I was like 10 minutes ago when I recorded the last podcast. I know that I was sad because I still have tears in my eyes. There are clues of what I was like, but there's no emotional recollection. There's nothing other than now. So there is literally now. There is no not now. Hopefully that makes sense, because usually I've got a sense of not now past and not now future and now, and I can understand that the past led into now, and I can see how I got to this emotional state, and I can see a future emotional state, and I can think about how I might get there. At the moment, I don't have that sense at all. I am not stupid. I'm cognitively aware that happens, but I am also completely incapable of emotionally having that reaction to the world. So whatever state I'm in now is according to me the thing that's always has been and always will be. Now is now. And everyone's like, you need to live in the moment. You need to. This whole thing of living in the moment is wonderful, and it's really amazing to live in the now and not be worried about the past or worried about the future and all of those things. It's a way to reduce anxiety. It's all of those things. But there is nothing harder than only having now, than only being capable of understanding that this is now. This is how I feel. This is what I'm thinking. This is the emotions that are flowing through me. This is the level of stress that I'm under. This is the way my body is panicked. All of these things. And I can't imagine it. I can't emotionally conceive of it being any other state than what it is now. Which is fucking hard. Um, I don't even quite know. I'm doing my best to try to describe it. It's like you're constantly trapped in an unchanging world that does change, and I'm aware that it does change because of my tears are now dry. Those things happen. Thirst goes because I've had a drink. Things happen that change now, but I can't conceive of actively changing it. I can't conceive of there being a difference. I sometimes will take actions just because I'm aware that if I do that, I'm now might change, but I can't trust in it. I can't believe it. I can't understand it. Um, I'm sorry. It sounds so bonkers to talk about. It sounds and it means that if I'm anxious and I'm sitting there and I'm anxious, I will just remain there sitting there anxious, and sometimes I'll be like, okay, whoa, you've been, and I don't know how long I've been anxious. I don't know how long I've been sitting there. I don't know how long anything is. Am I still recording? I am still recording. Okay. I honestly don't know what I've said. Sorry, I pressed a button to get you an idea. This may have some weird recording things on it. I'm using a new system. I pressed a button to double check the time that I'm recording because I have no sense of time. And in doing so, I somehow selected stuff and had some very weird stuff happen. So this may be a slightly weirder than usual take because it's had that weird little bit at the end there. But it seems to now be recording and showing me what I'm seeing. And it's got a big R, which obviously means that it's recording there. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. So, time, yes, time. So I don't know how long that took for me to go from figuring out that I was trying to see what was going on to having a bit of a technical meltdown to coming back. I literally don't know. I have no sense that time passes. So I am sitting watching a show and I have no idea how long the show is. I have no idea how long I have been sitting there waiting, which means I can be incredibly anxious that I've missed a part of the show. I can be incredibly anxious about missing a train home. I can be incredibly anxious about how much longer do I need to sit here. It just increases a lot of anxiety around, am I in the right place at the right time? It means that I now run my life. There are ways for me to cope with this. I put a lot of stuff on my calendar so that I say to myself, you need to go to the gym. So I'm like, I need to go to the gym. So in the morning when I get up, in the morning I look at my calendar and go, does it have a gym time in? And it's like, no. And it's like, so what time will we go to the gym? And I'm like, let's do it around lunchtime. So I put a thing in my calendar that tells me to go to the gym. If I don't do that, it will suddenly be 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon and I won't have gone to the gym and I'll be wondering why I didn't make time to go to the gym. I have to use the timer on my watch all the time. If I want to do something and I'm like, I need to make a coffee and a coffee needs to brew for 5 minutes, I will put a timer on my watch. I literally, despite brewing a coffee for 5 minutes like 3 times a day, I could not tell you how long 5 minutes is. Sometimes that 5 minutes, it feels like an hour or longer, and sometimes that 5 minutes feels like 30 seconds. And it's all about how fast my brain is running, what I'm thinking about, how things are going, what's going on. I have no idea. it's a it's not a fun space to live in because you are unmoored from everything that everyone else seems to experience. Um, I can be watching a show on telly, and I think I've been watching it for an hour, and I'm like, oh, I need to have a break. I've been sitting here for a while. I'm a bit anxious. I need to get up and move around. I'll pause it, and it's been 10 minutes. And sometimes I'll do that, and it's been 2 and a bit hours. Um, there is nothing inside my head in terms of time other than now, and it is just an endless now. The worst part of it is the anxiety over me getting time wrong because I'm so anxious about getting time wrong because I'm so worried about not being on time that it's kind of scary. Um, and it's just one of those things that I am struggling with, and I will struggle with until the stress on my brain comes down, and my poor little CPTSD brain is no longer having panic attacks. Now, for those who listened to the previous one, yes, I'm still having panic attacks when I go to the gym. I will talk about what I've been doing to resolve them. I'll talk about what the gym's done. They've made some we've made good progress. We Some good stuff has come out of this, but I'm still having panic attacks. I still am existing with a level of panic in public should I need to use the bathroom at the moment. And I do not have a trans bladder. Trans bladder is somebody who doesn't need to go the entirety of the night. I'm a postmenopausal person. Trans bladder gets overwritten by postmenopausal bladder, and literally I will need to go four times in a night, 4 times in a day. I can go just before I hop in the pool for acrobics and come out of the pool with it just absolutely being like, oh my god, I need to go so urgently. There is no rhyme or reason with a postmenopausal body as to how much you need to go to the bathroom. It's I know this is part of the endless jokes about women, but it is just one of those things. Literally, it's not a pelvic floor problem. It is my body is doing stuff because my body can, but also because I have no sense of time. I have no idea when I last went because I just need to go now. So it's kind of I am like the Queen. I will take every opportunity to avail myself of the facilities. Um, Especially if I'm at the theatre or anything, I will always go during one of the breaks. Um, it's time. I honestly don't know. I hope it improves. I'm about to travel across time zones, and I fear that I will. No, actually, I'm going to be completely fine because whatever time I'm on is the time that I'm on. If it's daylight, it's daylight. If it's dark, it's dark. Um, I will just endlessly adapt to whatever time I'm in. It's the only way of doing it. Um, but only having now, it's not as much for everyone's like, oh, must be lovely just to live in the moment. No. Um, I was joking that it's almost like being a cat. By the time cats are very hard to train, because by the time you tell them off, you uncover the bad behaviour and you tell them off for it, they've already forgotten about it because they've moved on to the next thing. It is very much like that. My brain very, very quickly moves on to the next thing. Um, and I'm like, somebody would be like, you did this, and I'd be like, I did. You said this, and it's been like, I said what? What did I say? What did I do? What have I done? When did I do that? What am I? Who are we? Who are you? Um, it's honestly just, just, I don't wish it on anybody. I don't wish panic attacks on anybody. I don't wish CPTSD on anybody. I would not wish this level of neurospice on anyone. even my worst enemy, I would not wish this upon them. It is, and this particular side effect, or whatever you call it, is a symptom, is not fun. So yeah,